Hello all on YouTube, Shadowsun here, welcome back to my channel. So just like the previous video that I uploaded, I'd like to talk a little bit about spellcasting tips as well. Just because I feel like spellcasting is something people need some help with, and I've also been thinking about it for myself. So I hope that this helps you, and again, if you're in a tradition, please follow those guidelines. If you're not, use what works, and I hope that this is helpful to you. So the first tip I have is to get in some type of altered state of consciousness. I talked about meditation, and this is also part of that tip in my previous #1 tip in getting clear about what you want for spellcrafting. In the casting process, meditation and being in an altered state of consciousness, which I talked about in my meditation series, can help you be in an ideal place for spellcasting, because you don't want to be thinking about chores or housework or bills or anything like that. You want to be focused on your goal. You want to be aligned with your will. You want to be able to concentrate and visualize your goal coming into manifestation. And meditation and being in an altered state can help you do this. Some people like to light incense to help them be in that altered state. Some people like to utilize music. Some people like to meditate, use music, and light incense. Or, whatever helps you get there, utilize that. Similar to being in a state of consciousness and utilizing the altered states is to get grounded and centered. Being grounded and centered is probably what I feel the most core elements of practicing magic, just because grounding stabilizes your energy. So what I mean by this is, when you're in a ritual or you're in a spell and you're casting a spell, and I know different paths have different ways of viewing both grounding and centering, and for me, I have found that whenever I've been in a ritual or spell, when I'm casting spells, I find that I like to ground before and I like to ground after I do the spell. Or if I'm not grounding, I'm putting energy into my altar, or depending on how much energy I've raised. But grounding allows you to become connected with the space around you, the energetic environment, and also it allows you to be present. And when I like to ground, I like to connect with earth energy, and I also like to connect and have grounded with solar energy. Connecting with the earth energy allows me to bring that energy from the earth up into my body, and it helps me stay grounded in this present moment. And when I'm casting spells, I feel like that's important because it allows me to align with that will to be solely in that moment of casting spells, just like the altered state of consciousness. And I personally think that centering allows you to stabilize your energy and keep you balanced energetically, and it keeps you centered in yourself. And some people have different ways. I've heard of like a physical center, like say your heart or your solar plexus being referred to in certain paths and traditions. And this will vary from person to person, practitioner to practitioner, path to path, and tradition. So grounding takes many forms, and centering takes many forms. I know I'm centered when I am focused on my goal, and I know that I don't feel unbalanced energetically. I don't feel like my energy is all over the place. Sometimes when you're done doing a spell, you feel kind of lightheaded or spacey. Everybody's different. So if you feel a particular way after a spell, grounding can help you, and just centering yourself, centering your energy will help balance you and stabilize you. And when you ground, it helps you become connected to earth energy, for example. Or when you end a spell or a ritual, you earth that energy. So if you have excess energy, because grounding can help with releasing excess energy. So for example, if I were to raise a lot of energy and I have some excess energy left, I might put my hands on the ground beneath me. I might put my hands on a stone that is associated with grounding, such as hematite. Or I might just, if I feel, this is not related to grounding, if I feel that I still have excess energy after a grounding, I will put energy into my altar for later use. This is just an extra little tip here that I didn't mention in the post. But grounding and centering is a great tool for any witch to learn, especially beginners. but grounding and centering is also something to keep in mind even if you've been practicing forever. The next tip is please make sure you're not going to be disturbed. And I say this because I can't tell you how many times I've done a spell or I've been holding a ritual and I've had people interrupt or the phone rings or something. I forgot to turn off the phone. I'm thinking about, I'm focused on the phone ringing instead of focusing on the spell at that point because I got interrupted. And your concentration can get messed up. I've had that happen to me where I just had a hard time concentrating after the fact. So I highly recommend sending texts, putting up a sign if need be, or just letting people know, like, hey, I'm going to be busy. And if they forget, then, that's where the sign comes in. But those are a good option for you because I feel like being undisturbed really allows for you to focus on the spell you're doing and allows you to be in that, maintaining that state of consciousness so that you're not worrying about someone interrupting you on accident and having to regain your concentration. My final tip is if you need to get something, get it. If you forget it, go get it. Basically, if you forget an item, go get it. I know in my last video I talked about if you don't have something, don't use it. Then, yeah, don't use it. But if you, say for example, one of the last like candle spells I did, I forgot a lighter. Like a lighter. Who forgets a lighter? I forgot a lighter and I was so frustrated because I was like, where'd I put it? So then I did. I went and got it. And some traditions and paths will have different ways of doing stuff. So for example, if you cast a spell within a cast circle, I've read that you can cut a door, and I've done that. So what I might do is I might, use my hand or a tool and just cut a door like from my height and, move my hand back, on my right and left to make the door shape, if you will, and go get the item and close it when I come back in. Close it behind me and then close it back up when I come back in. That's how I've done it. So if you need to get something, that's the way to do it. Or, cast the circle big enough so that it encompasses your entire space. That's what I've done. So whenever I've cast a circle, I've made it large enough that it encompasses the entire space that I am in when I'm working my magic. So I hope these tips have been super helpful for you guys. If you guys have questions, comments, you have tips of your own, please share them in the comments below. If I didn't cover something, please let me know and I'll be happy to do so. Speak soon all. If you like what you see, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Many blessings.